economy. So there is a major difference in how the Chinese view the two different cabinet members. When it comes to Blinken, China feels that Blinken is one of the biggest hawks and is trying to contain China's economic growth and is being really led by the national security war machine and trying to sort of keep China's economic and political influence diminished. Yellen, on the other hand, is viewed as far more dovish in the by the Chinese government. The Chinese state media the last couple of days has been saying, we welcome Yellen. She's far more pragmatic than anyone else in the Biden regime. She's somebody that we hope we can work with because we really need to get economic trade and economic relations back on track because, frankly, China's economy is in a very weak position. New numbers coming out. You saw a contraction in PMI. So it was at a 49 number, up slightly from May, which was at 48.8, but still weak. And probably more disconcerting is services. So the services PMI dropped from May to June from 57.1 down to a really anemic 53.9. So China's really looking for a corridor where they might be able to open up better relations with the United States.
Shaun, it's one thing for Janet Yellen to be more China-friendly within the Biden administration, and it's another for her to actually have influence over major policy decisions. How much sway does she actually have at the White House?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the Chinese feel that Yellen might be more dovish and more pragmatic, but the concern they have is right now they just don't think that she has a lot of sway on policy making when it comes to national security issues and geopolitical issues. That seems to be more the purview of, again, Tony Blinken, who the Chinese view as a major China hawk, as well as the National Security Council. So the concern that the Chinese have is in the run up to the next presidential elections in the United States, whether it be Biden, whether it be Kennedy, whether it be Trump again, you're going to see more Sinophobia and China bashing, because that's the only thing that the American Republicans and Democrats can agree on, is that they have to criticize China. So China's economy is in a really weak space. Consumer confidence is collapsing. If your audience knows me, I've been one of China's biggest bulls for 25 years. But for the last year and a half, I've been one of the biggest bears. It's going to be very difficult for China to be able to continue to grow economically as long as the sword of Damocles. So America's, trade war, America's sanctions on selling semiconductors to China, the limits on buying, Xinjiang cotton. As long as that sort of Damocles holds over the Chinese economy, we're going to be in a very weak position, and investors need to be cautious on getting exposure.